In the first weekend of the Gallagher Premiership season, Worcester welcomed Wasps to Sixways. The two sides are debutants starting in the outside half position, with Duncan Weir making his Warriors debut and Billy Searle starting for Wasps for the first time in the competition. The Scotsman got off to the best start, kicking a penalty in the 3rd minute before doubling his tally shortly afterwards. Warriors' lead was stretched 2 minutes later with a simple move from a scrum inside Wasps 22, which saw inside centre Ryan Mills bundling his way over. Weir added the conversion. Searle scored his first points of the afternoon in the 27th minute with a penalty, and then 5 minutes before half-time made the score 13-6. Wasps, though, had a great opportunity to take the scores level with a Searle break and grubber, giving Wade a chance to score, but the try wasn't awarded after consultation with a television match official.
No tries confirmed.
The second period saw Wasps scoring a try to level the scores. With Alafuti for Saliba in the sin bin, captain Joe Launchbury capitalised on a Nathan Hughes break from the scrum to go over, and Searle kicked the conversion. A period of pressure from Worcester saw the Warriors take the lead again, the bouncing ball causing havoc in the Wasps' defensive line, and Sam Lewis saw a clear run towards the line. Dan Robson's quick penalty set up replacement hooker Tommy Taylor to go over for Wasps. Searle failed with the conversion, leaving the visitors still trailing by 2 points. Searle atoned for that miss 11 minutes from the end, slotting a penalty to take Wasps into the lead for the first time. In the final play of the match, the home side had a chance to steal the victory. After taking the ball a few phases into midfield, Weir took aim with a drop goal but hooked it wide. Final score at Sixways, Worcester 20, Wasps 21.
Exeter failed to come home with the silverware from the Anglo-Welsh Cup last week, but they still began with something of a hangover at Sandy Park. 2 penalties from AJ McGinty gave Sale an early lead, and then they extended it when Denny Solomona showed his pace and alertness with an interception try midway through the first half. Finding themselves in the unfamiliar position of 13-0 down at home, the Chiefs struck back, even though they were playing into a stiff breeze. Hooker Luke Cowan-Dickey provided the angle, enabling Thomas Waldrum to put Kai Horstman over in the corner. But 2 further McGinty penalties repaired Sale's lead back to 14 points. The Chiefs, though, responded once more before the break when a driving line-out finished with Cowan-Dickey claiming the try. Now it was Sale's turn to head into the wind, and they found it tough going. They clung on to their lead for 9 minutes before a try for wing Ollie Woodburn and a penalty from Henry Slade put the Chiefs 20 points to 19 ahead. McGinty, who finished with 7 successful kicks from 7, briefly stole back the lead, but Exeter then turned on the power. Flanker Don Armand showed his individual strength by stretching for a 4th try and a bonus point, and a conversion and a penalty from Slade left Sale facing the prospect of going home with nothing. But the Sharks rallied with a late surge, and McGinty's last kick gave them a deserved losing bonus point. Exeter Chiefs 30, Sale Sharks 25.
Round 9 of the Aviva Premiership season saw a tantalising battle as 3rd place Harlequins hosted the unbeaten table-toppers Saracens. The match started on a relatively sour note, though. Former Wallaby skipper James Horwell given 10 minutes in the bin for an illegal strike on George Cruz, whose afternoon was subsequently ended with concussion.
It's high and it's a swinging arm. I've got no option. Off you go.
The extra man immediately gave Saracens the advantage, and Mark McCall's side would profit on 9 minutes through their number 9 Neil de Kock, the Springbok benefiting from his front 8's raw power. Owen Farrell added the extras, then missed a penalty 10 minutes later before a moment of magic saw Quins hit back. A line-out move right off the training ground saw Danny Kerr race through unscathed before passing to hooker Rob Buchanan, who slid in the corner. Nick Evans missed the extra points to leave his side 2 back. The Saracen scrum, however, would again prove the platform for another score, on this occasion unable to push the Quins back. Instead, Billy Vunipola with the number 8 pickup, powering his way over the line, and with Farrell adding the extras, the league leaders were 14-5 up. Evans would pull 3 points back for the hosts before the Kiwi 10 put his name in the mix for assist of the season, with an audacious offload to put Jack Clifford through for the score. The fly half took a heavy hit in the process but dusted himself down to add the extras and give the home side a 1 point lead at the break. Into the second half, and 2 Farrell penalties would see Sarries take a 5 point lead of their own. Evans was replaced on 53 minutes by countryman Ben Botica, and the 26-year-old kept his head to claw the deficit back to 2. Sloppiness would cost Quins again though. Farrell awarded another chance to extend his side's lead, the England international making no mistake. However, on 65 minutes the game changed. George Lowe on the end of a Reese-Gill tip tackle. The front row was initially sent to the bin before referee Craig Maxwell-Key sought further footage of the incident and changed the yellow card to a red. It was the host now with the man advantage, and Botica made Saracens pay, slotting the resulting penalty and another 6 minutes later to give his side a slender 1 point lead going into the last 5 minutes. With Conor O'Shea's men under the cosh in the dying moments, a fine Jack Clifford break relieved pressure before Alex Goode conceded a penalty. Botica then stuck it in the corner, and from the resulting line-out, Horwill redeemed himself for his early mishap, driving over with the assistance of Mike Brown to seal a famous win. So Saracens' first defeat of the season in all competitions. Final score at the Stoop, Harlequins 29, Saracens 23.
Leicester were hoping to give their fans some Welford Road cheer in an otherwise sombre season, while old rivals Bath had their sights on a Champions Cup spot. To secure that, Bath needed a bonus point win, and they got off to a flying start. Ruud McConaughey's third-minute break was finished off by Anthony Watson on his 100th appearance in blue, black and white. George Ford booted 3 points for the hosts before Brendan O'Connor was credited with a try as the Tigers' pack began to rumble. But Bath weren't behind for long, and again it was an England international who struck. Another sweeping move was finished off in the corner by winger Joe Thockiner-Singer, 12-10 now to the visitors. But that's when the tide began to turn in the East Midlands. O'Connor muscled his way over again for his second touchdown, either side of a couple of Ford penalties. It looked to be getting worse for Bath when Maxwell Heath was sent to the bin, but Rhys Priestland cancelled out another Ford three-pointer to make the half-time score 26-15. Young Tigers wing Sam Asplen-Robinson was also yellow-carded for a deliberate knock-on, and that's when Bath sensed an opportunity. Todd Blackadder's side were right back in it when Beno Abano rumbled over on 45 minutes. The gap 4 points after Freddie Burns' conversion. But Leicester found themselves in front again on 49 minutes when Clayton Blommachi scampered over. Bath's top six hopes fading fast at 31-22 down. A Priestland penalty dragged them back in it, and replacement prop Jacques Van Rooyen sent the visiting fans into delirium as he barged over for the decisive try. The conversion was still required, and Priestland held his nerve to secure a 32-31 victory and give departing coach Blackadder the perfect send-off. Leicester end the campaign in 11th place, while Bath will be playing Champions Cup rugby next season.
With James O'Connor having made his much-anticipated move to London Irish in the week, all eyes at the Madejski Stadium were on the Australian fullback as Brian Smith put him straight into his starting 15. Whilst the pre-match build-up was all about O'Connor, it was Northampton stalwart Stephen Myler who got the game's first points after 5 minutes. Saints put 6 tries past Saracens in round 6, and the visitors were in the mood again at the Madejski, with James Wilson going over after an offload from George Peacey. Myler added the extras and a further penalty, meaning that Northampton stretched their lead to 10 points. However, the visitors didn't have it all their own way in the first half. New boy O'Connor was determined to make his mark on the game, and he did so just before the break, unselfishly setting up teammate Silosi Tagintakimbow in the corner to keep Irish in touch. The Exiles looked dangerous in the second half, O'Connor displaying some quick footwork that threatened to unlock the Saints' defence, the crowd clearly buoyed by his selection. Both Myler and Ian Humphreys had missed kicks after the restart, but it was this kick from Humphreys that brought Irish to within 2 points of the visitors. However, Myler restored the Saints' 5-point lead soon after and then missed the chance to further extend the lead, keeping the game in the balance right up until the final whistle. Irish were unable to summon a late score and it was Northampton who sealed victory. Consolidating their second spot in the league, Irish making do with a losing bonus. Final score at the Medeski Stadium, London Irish 14, Northampton Saints 19.
Gloucester were the visitors to Ashton Gate on Friday night, looking for their first away win since September. Billy Burns edged the Cherry and Whites ahead after just 2 minutes. Bristol's Jason Woodward then missed 2 opportunities to draw level before Billy Searle, who took over the kicking duties, got Bristol off the mark in the 11th minute. Johnny May was off the field for an HIA when his temporary replacement Charlie Sharples found himself scampering over the whitewash for the evening's first try. Burns and Searle traded further penalties before the break, and with half an hour to go, Searle closed the gap to 13-9, but Gloucester began to turn the screw on their hosts. Burns on the end of some fancy fielding by Johnny May to stretch Gloucester's lead. Gloucester kept hopes of a try bonus alive from a catch and drive deep in Bristol's 22. They scored their third try through Lewis Ludlow in the 69th minute. And with just 3 minutes remaining, Bristol's hopes of a bonus point were also boosted when Max Crumpton's try got them to within 9. So it came down to the final play. The result was gone, but both teams were still looking to secure a bonus point. Bristol came closest first, but Hines remained cool under pressure and turned defence into attack. A good break by Henry Trinder followed, and Johnny May was on hand to finish it off. Five points for Gloucester in their first Premiership away win since round 3. Bristol's job of surviving the drop just got that little bit harder. Final score, Bristol 14, Gloucester 32.